first. We got Quincy smacking Ryder in the ass.
Give me.
Hey,
You know?
it's Asian hate, but I'm a minority too.
Hey, stop the Asian hate.
Bitch, where's the fucking iPad I gave you?
Where's Mike? Mike, where are you at?
No, I'm not gonna be in it. Because he don't want me in it.
That iPad got hentai on it. I fucking guarantee it.
He's used this for OnlyFans.
I'm telling
That's
you.
it.
He pawned it for drugs.
I know he did.
Well, welcome to the Dragons Lair YouTube channel. We are here doing our first actual interview with some creators here in the North Carolina area. I see that you're not vaccinated. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not vaccinated.
All right, so I'll let you know.
Are you vaccinated?
I'm good for 90 days because you remember I came out of the hospital, so I'm good. So I can't give you anything. You can't give me anything. So if you feel better about your mask, I can put a mask on too. You good? He's good, and Rob's been vaccinated. So we have two special guests here in the house today. We've got Erik Klaus, and we got Rob Podcheck, right?
Yep.
All right, so I pronounced that right.
You did, yeah.
Okay, these guys were in the back giving me crap. It's this, it's that. So I just went with what I saw. Mangy boy, I kind of understand. So we've got two guys who have creator-owned books here in the area. They work. You guys are published through Keenspot, correct?
Yep.
All right, cool. So let's start off with you, Rob. Tell us a little bit about your book, Junior High Horrors.
So it basically takes your favorite horror icons and makes them like 12-year-old kids. So they go through the trials and tribulations of being different.
School. That's cool. And how did you come up with that idea? Was it something that you just were,
Well, there were adult cocktails involved.
Usually are.
Yeah,
usually
whenever
are.
I come up with an idea, yes, that's typical.
Of vodka.
Interestingly enough, I was actually hanging out with a New York City police officer that I've known for about 30 years, and during the process of just BSing around with him, he started talking about like working a serial killer case at one point. And in the middle of him saying it, I was like, stop right there. What if Jason Voorhees was in Peanuts? and he goes, wait, what?
What?
And before you know it, like, it just got the wheel turning, kept going, and I was like, I think I'm onto something.
That's awesome.
And it kind of just morphed from there.
And how long have you been doing it now?
I think the first issue came out in 2018, so about 3 years.
All right, and I was talking earlier, we were talking about the convention scene, and you said that your best convention was the LA Comic Con, right?
Yeah, to 2019, I think we did the LA Comic Con, or WonderCon. It was WonderCon, and had a great panel that when it ended, everybody that came to the panel was like down at the booth, like
so
trying to buy stuff.
So you told me this story. Can you just make it really quick? Because I know it's actually a funny story that I was like I enjoyed because we talked about who. Liam Sharp. Go ahead, take it away.
So I wasn't going to mention him by name on a YouTube channel, but there's a very famous comic book artist who directly before our panel had a panel that there was only like 15 people in the room, and so very intimate setting, everything else, and sometimes it's awesome, but when you're a big name artist, you kind of want a full room, you know. And immediately after that, we had our panel, and like it flooded with people, like people just kept coming in, and I. Hosting the panel, I'm like, how do you guys know what you're here for? And they're like, yeah, Junior High Horrors, right? It's, yeah. Do you guys know what that is? And they're all like they just don't know. And I was like, well, by the end of this, you'll know what it is. And we were supposed to immediately leave the panel to the airport, but instead we went back down to the booth. And we're glad we did because everybody that was in the panel, like they're listening to us, came down to buy something from us. It was incredible.
That's always awesome because indies, the way indies grow is mainly word of mouth.
Yeah.
And man, when you're doing conventions, you're on the circuit, man, because I've seen it. I've seen guys that I knew were just starting off, like Everett Hartsoe of Razor. There were other people like Billy Tucci. Just small books back in the '90s. The Bad Girl era hit, and they were not known, and all of a sudden they get big. So, and it's word of mouth always.
Yeah.
So, man, that's actually a great story. Let's move over to you. We call him our local rock star, and the reason why is because he's one of our good friends. But the reason why you probably why does he only call a local rock star? So
Tell me the story.
I'm gonna tell you a story. So,
I want to hear the story.
So we were in South Carolina at Comic Con. Greg Capullo, big Greg Capullo. Everybody knows he is. He's like 2 hours late. 2 hours late to the
That's
signing.
rock star status.
Yeah, that is 2 hours. That's like Axl Rose coming on stage 2 hours later. So he shows up 2 hours late. Poor Nick. Nick was in the line at 10 o'clock. You know, and he's got his little cane. And he's like sitting there waiting. And finally he shows up, and it was a little joke between the CGC people. They're like, yeah, Greg's late again, and they're like, no, that's that typical rock star. So that's why I call you that.
You're late. Because I'm late all the
Because you're late.
time.
However,
All right.
However, he was on time today.
Yeah.
He was on time today.
Yeah.
But it's I can always say rock star, but you are our local rock star. You really are.
I am local. Yeah.
You're local. He's a local rock star.
I am local.
Man,
Yeah.
I gotta say I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
And the reason why is because I saw Ninjas and Robots. The first time I remember you actually coming in here. I wasn't here. I was in New York. I was up there for my anniversary, and Nick said, "Hey, this guy comes in named Erik. Erik Klaus. He's like, he wants to come in and sit in on a Wednesday and do some stuff. He's got this book, and it's oh cool. And then I think you came in. We set up. You came in, and we actually kind of hit it off. And then you were saying you used to come in here when you were like younger.
Yeah.
And you're younger, and
13.
you're 13, and I'm like 51, so that makes you.
Yeah.
Actually, Erik
carry
holds
the two.
Erik actually holds his age really well.
Yeah.
You really do. But man, I just say I'm proud because I've seen your book go from just something you produced to being picked up by KeenSpot and
Yeah.
having a very hot book with the first issue picked up. So
Yeah.
tell them about your book a little bit.
So Ninjas and Robots is essentially the story of Yuki, a ninja princess, and she's got some fights and some things to overcome with her past, and I don't want to give too much away because we're only
I
on...
want you to buy the book.
Yeah, we're only on issue 6, and but it's going good. It's unfolding, and it's really because of Rob and Billy that KeenSpot even picked it up. So, and that was kind of a funny story because honestly, I wasn't even I was just hanging out with these guys. They were at a con, and
I made him
was
draw
talking
me
to them.
something.
Yeah, and I was like, hey man, you want to check out my book? Yeah, I'd love to know just what you think. I'm always trying to get better. I'm always trying to grow. And by this point, I had pitched it all over the place, and nobody wanted to touch it. Nobody was interested, and I was just like, I'm gonna do my own thing, just like I've always done, and just draw comics. And he actually really liked it. He was like, let me pitch it to KeenSpot, and I was like, whatever.
What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, if you want to, go ahead, and so here we are. And
What's really funny about that story is when Erik pitched it to me, he's like, hey, I want you to have a copy of the book, right? Which is awesome and then he goes, hey, I also drew something in here already for you because I like to do that. And I was like, that's awesome, But I was like, so why Ninjas and Robots? And he goes, well, everybody likes ninjas, everybody likes robots. So I just put it together. And I was like,
It works.
it works. and I was sold. I looked at the art. I was like, it's different. It's catchy. It's its own thing. So I sent it over to KeenSpot, and KeenSpot was like, I don't really know, and blah, blah, blah. And then they reached out to an artist that I worked with on a series called Immortal, which the artist is Owen Genie, who has also done Rat Queens for Image.
Okay.
And he looked at it, and he goes, dude, you need to sign this guy. So I'm sitting there like, dude, seriously, sign this guy, get his book made. Let's do this. And it took another artist who also was like, this guy's got something. And immediately after, he's like, hey, can I do a cover for the first issue?
yeah, that was gorgeous.
Yeah, his cover is every cover that you've had made for the book has been great. Your special retail incentive covers like the Eastman cover, the Mafood cover, all those have been awesome. But I went to my unfortunately this is my local comic shop, right? But so I went to my local comic shop and I bought the Owen cover because I was like, I'm going to support my friends,
That's awesome.
So, but yeah, but Ninjas and Robots, and I was like, why Ninjas and Robots?
Why not?
Why not? That was the pitch. You know, everybody wants an elevator pitch. You want like a 2-minute pitch of your book so that you can say, this is what it is. Because, Bernie, you were telling me that you know, in the 90s at Heroes Con, you were in the elevator with all these people like Dave Johnson, Pearson, Jason Pearson, Joe Quesada, all these guys. And they were nobodies at the time. But you got on the elevator, and all of a sudden you're probably hearing them sit there like, hey, I got this idea for a book. Hey, I got this. You know, and literally 2 minutes, get your pitch out, know what it is, right? That's why Junior High Horrors takes your favorite horror characters, turns them into 12-year-old kids, puts them in middle school. Done. Like, I don't have to tell, like you hear that, and you're like, that's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
really is.
And Ninjas and Robots. Like, it's a no-brainer, you know? Like, so
much creativity involved in indies, and that's why I think I've always kind of been drawn to them. For a little bit, though, you know, they came out with some good ones, and all of a sudden the industry seems to die. And then right now, the indies are actually some of the best books on the market. And I don't say that because I'm putting Marvel or DC down, but after having it, after talking to George, I told you I talked to George Perez yesterday. He told me what was going on and at DC, and it's crazy because creativity has been being taken away by a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
I didn't know it, and I wondered why. Just jumping on, when he was doing Superman U-52, it just didn't seem like George. And after talking to him, he was telling me yesterday that it was going through processes where he would do a script. They would give it, we want you to change this. And then same thing. It got to the point where he didn't care anymore. And he said it was the worst feeling in the world because you bet George. George is like a teddy bear.
He really is.
Some artists love doing comics, but some artists love doing comics. And you can tell when it's almost coming out of their mouth all the time. George is one of those guys. And he told me yesterday, he goes, it got to the point where I didn't care anymore. And it took Boom Studios, an independent company, coming in and said, hey, we want you to come work for us. And it took him to get that fire back. His wife says, you know, I can tell a difference now. So indies have always been something that pushes other companies to get better. And man, I'll tell you what, both your books are pretty hot. I know that. And we've got customers who come and buy your book, customers come and buy your book. So with that going on, what do you guys get some stuff going on in the future? And if you want, also tell everybody your social media website or something like that what you got going on. So we'll start with you, Rob, over there.
So Facebook.com/ both Junior High Horrors and / Rob Pochak. Instagram, same things. New projects coming up. I'm returning to the world of my first comic that I did, which was Immortal. Except I'm kind of influenced by the whole John Wick phenomenon going on, and I love the idea of people cutting off heads, but doing it in a Chad Stahelski, kind of way. So like just the concepts of the writing of where, like, how you use a sword in a sword fight, because we've all watched Highlander, right? And in Highlander, it's classic and everything, but like these people would be dirty, like especially the bad guys. Mm-hmm. They would be like, I'm going to take your head and run it across the table, and we're going to chop it off that way. Like they would just come up with different ways. So a bunch of that stuff going on. Junior High Horrors, I've got 3 more books lined up. First one comes out in July. The bookstore edition, which can be ordered in comic shops as long as you got a Simon & Schuster account. You can buy the volume 1. Ninjas and Robots, same thing. They both come out in July. So we could do a signing in July, I'm sure.
That'd be awesome. Definitely, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, always pimping, right? So got that coming up. Like I said, got Immortal coming up as well. And I've got like 3 concepts that are in the early stages that I can't really go into because, got to knock down the copyrights and everything else. But some cool stuff coming.
All right. What about you?
Ninjas and Robots. I'm working on that.
What's that?
And it's this book about ninjas and robots. And the trade is coming out, like Rob said. And so we're super excited about that. That'll collect the first 6 issues. And then just doing, it's a monthly book, so that kind of takes most of my time and energy at this point. I'm still learning how to juggle all that, but
I know you had some in the can, but you're also redrawing a lot of the book now.
Redrawing everything. Because I make things.
You're now redrawing everything?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah, everything.
Start with what issue?
Everything. I started with issue 3. I started redrawing.
I made him redraw a bunch of issue 1.
He needs to
So, but it's good. I do need the practice. We're always getting better. We're always trying
Draw
to be
every day,
better.
folks.
Yeah.
Every day.
But online at Interstate Ninja, interstateninja.com.
Did you get that from the song?
Yeah. No, not really. No. My early days were up and down Highway 95 all the time. So
got
the
you.
interstate.
Okay.
That was kind of the thing, and I had that back on DeviantArt back in the day, so it's just kind of I contemplated changing it, and it's easier for everybody to go to one place, and you can go to any social media platform and same name. Sometimes when you mix it up, it gets too confusing. There's too much stuff going on out there.
Yeah, it's like not wanting to change your AOL email because you've got 10 million emails. Coming
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
I did finally get rid of my AOL email.
Did you? I still got one. And I told them the other day, and they all looked at me like, "Can you still get email?" Yes, you can.
You've got mail.
Yeah. Classic.
So, anyways, it's great having you guys come down for a store signing. Definitely will line something up for July when the books come out.
Yeah.
I always like supporting indies, but especially when they're local guys. So I appreciate you guys coming down. I know we're gonna have a good amount of people today. So I'm looking forward to that. And I hope, Rob, your first time being in the Fayetteville store. I know you've done Fayetteville Comic Con. So we want you to be able to call this your Fayetteville local comic
My home away from home.
Yes,
There you
exactly.
go. Yeah.
So thank you guys for coming in. And as I always said, it's all about the comic community. If you like the video, definitely share, subscribe, and like it. So that's it, guys. Check out their sites, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.